Welcome to Lesson 2 of HTML with Coduo. You might have noticed in the last lesson that all the code we wrote is in the tab named index.html. Index is the name of the file, and the .html represents the format of the file. The index file is usually what we name the primary HTML page. So when you build websites, index.html will typically be the home of the website. By now, we've set our file extension to .html. We declared our doc type as HTML, and we wrapped our entire document with the opening and closing HTML tags. The browser will have no problem understanding what it's reading. Okay, so in the last lesson, we talked a little about tags. Tags let the browser know what it is that we're trying to show or display to the user. So, as you might have expected, there are tons of different HTML tags to let us display different things to the user. For now, don't even worry about trying to memorize them. We're going to focus on the ones you'll use 99% of the time. For more unique tags, you might have to do some Googling. Alright, so now, in between our HTML tags, we have to create the head and body of our document. The head of the HTML document is where we put our data about the document, typically called metadata. Users will never see anything that's wrapped inside of the head tags. The head of the document is strictly for us to communicate things to the browser. For example, you may want to let the browser know what the title of the document should be. That would go in the head. The body is where you'll spend the majority of your time. Anything wrapped between the opening and closing body tags gets displayed to the user. So far, the user doesn't see any of the code we've written, as you can see in the Preview tab. Let's move on to the body of our document, where we'll write our code that actually displays stuff to the user. Let's add a header to our web page. To do this, we can use the h1 tag. Like we mentioned earlier, pretty much everything in HTML is represented by tags. The h1 tag is the main header tag. It's displayed much larger than a paragraph text. We also have a few more header tags such as h2, h3, h4, h5, and h6, all decreasing in size. To add a large prominent header to your web page, simply add your opening and closing h1 tags and add your text in between them. Okay, before we go on, we really want you to get comfortable with two things: discussing your code with others and doing your research. These will be some of the most important skills you can have as a developer. If you're doing this course with a partner, reach out to them and see if you can brainstorm and come up with a solution to the problem together. If you're still stuck, your next step should be to Google it. At first, you won't even know what to Google, but eventually you'll get to the point where you can Google something and get exactly what you're looking for. So from now on, get used to it. It helps to bookmark useful websites like w3schools.com. With that said, head to the objectives of this lesson and get started.